a Redeemer, Jesus, God's own Son, precious Lamb of God, Messiah, Holy One.
Alright, that's the Elmer's Island beach over there. And for those of you who've watched many of my videos, you know that Elmer's Island beach is one of my favorite places in the whole state of Louisiana to go surfing fishing. In fact, it's my favorite place. And right out here in Caminata Pass off the beach is one of my favorite places to fish from a boat. Chasing bull reds and drum, and sometimes we get into the sharks right there. And it's just beautiful. It's a little bit disappointing that the state of Louisiana has restricted driving on the beach. That's probably because they restored the beach and they spent a lot of money planting vegetation on the beach to help control erosion. But one of the things I'm noticing looking up there is how relatively free of garbage it looks. I mean, I remember when you used to be able to drive, I'd fish that beach with my children and we could all bring a big garbage bag and each one of us fill up a garbage bag in about 10 minutes to clean it up a little bit. But it seems like since they've restricted the driving, the beach on Elmer's Island just isn't attracting all the garbage that it used to. That's a blessing. You know, I want to encourage everybody, especially Louisiana's good citizens. These are our beaches. These are our wetlands. These are our wild areas. Let's take a little better care of them. God's given the state of Louisiana and the citizens of Louisiana so much natural beauty. I mean, it's awesome living here and fishing here. It's just tremendous. Let's take a little better care of it and not leave so much garbage everywhere on the boat ramps, on the beaches. Louisiana is really a jewel of the United States. It is that sportsman's paradise, like it says on the license plate. Let's take better care of it. We own it. This is our island, Elmer's Island and Grand Isle and all the Louisiana wetlands, so let's take care of it. Alright, the purpose of the video today is to check out Elmer's Island. We're going to talk a little bit about the road along the way, see if we see anybody fishing, but the main focus is on checking out the beach and the beach access for surf fishing. Bridge is a popular fishing spot. People often sitting there presumably trying to catch specks and reds on the outgoing tide. People were fishing along this road over the weekend. Success was only moderate is what I heard. I didn't fish it personally. I was out in the past, but talked to a number of anglers who did. Okay, this is the actual entrance to the Refuge. It's just up, I don't know, less than half a mile it seems from the road. I guess they open it every day at sometime around sunrise and they close it at sunset. I'm seeing lots of ducks in the Refuge this morning. Nice December morning. Lots of open water, outgoing tide. And just as I'm just driving up the road, lots and lots of ducks. Yeah, this is the most disappointment thing about the new Elmer's Island is that you can only access the beach on foot. You used to be able to drive out there because it's a couple miles to the best fishing spot for bull redfish, which I regard as the the beach over there on Caminata Pass, and now one has to park here in the parking area and walk all the way over. That's disappointing. But I can understand why they do it. I mean, I'm not going to hate too much on the restoration efforts. It seems like the state of Louisiana or somebody has spent a lot of money restoring the beach, brought in lots of sand, planted lots of vegetation to cut back on erosion. So hopefully this Elmer's Island Refuge will be here for many more decades, and hopefully the next hurricane won't take it out. So, you know, there's a gate over here. We did see a wildlife and fisheries vehicle driving on the beach the other day from the boat. Hey, no littering. Let's see how that works out. Oh, okay, so they got all these nice little displays, poster type things about the efforts that went into restoring it. Got another one on birds, turtles, and fish, and got another informational poster here about the Caminada headland. Well, alright, let's walk out there and see what it looks like from the beach. Okay, this is the view from the beach on Elmer's Island, maybe 100 or 200 yards from where you can park the car. And, you know, this kind of beach, you can look out and see the waves and tell that it stays shallow for a ways out there, which might be fine if you're fishing for speckled trout, but bull red's a key feature when you're fishing the beach, is to be able to get the baits in deep water. And unless you kayak the baits out, if you're casting or wading, that long shallow shelf is not what you want. This is the other thing that's going to make beach fishing challenging close to the parking area, is all this hyacinth tends to get snagged in the lines as the tide drifts back, you know, either as the tide drifts either west to east or east to west, all this hyacinth tends to get tangled in the fishing lines when you've got a bait out and you're waiting for the bull drum or bull redfish to come along and grab it. This doesn't happen. You don't have near the hassle with the hyacinth and seaweed over at the eastern edge of Elmer's Island when you're casting out to Caminada Pass, but here on the southern edge, when you're casting out more directly into the Gulf of Mexico, this hyacinth is going to be a hassle. Don't get me wrong, I mean, this is a beautiful beach. Looks great for surf fishing if you're targeting speckled trout, but you see how far out there those waves are breaking? That's a long, shallow shelf, and it makes it challenging to get baits into deep enough water to catch bull redfish at the satisfying rate that we like to catch it. So this is the southern edge of Elmer's Island that runs along the Gulf of Mexico for several miles. For bull reds, we always prefer fishing the eastern edge, where Elmer's Island has a beach and you can cast right into Caminada Pass. And that spot on the eastern edge is the best bull red fishing spot in the state of Louisiana if you're fishing from the beach. And it's disappointing that to access it now with one's equipment, one would have to probably drag a cart about a 2-mile walk from the parking area all the way over there to the beach. Well, somebody's 3-hour tour didn't end how they planned. Wow, 2019 sticker. Must have happened this year. I don't think somebody would have re-registered a stranded boat. I didn't think I'd seen this last time I was here. Okay, this is the spot on Elmer's Island where it turns to the north as you're walking east, where the Gulf of Mexico transitions to Caminada Pass. You can barely make out the bridge in the distance through the fog, and you can see Grand Isle on the other side of the pass. But this is it. This is the best spot in the state of Louisiana for surf fishing for bull reds. And the reason is well, one, it opens up into a pass and you get a lot of tidal action and fish going back and forth. But the other reason is it gets deep very quickly. Depending on exactly where you are, you can reach 15 to 20 feet of water with a good surf rod, a good cast within 100 yards. As you move down a ways, you don't get that deep that quickly, but you can still get into 10 feet of water with just a moderate surf rod cast without having to be a distance hero. Because you know, you're casting into the wind a lot of times when you're fishing this spot, and well, a lot of times you've got south winds or winds from the east in Louisiana, so surf fishing is often casting into the wind. There's a little more trash up here on the beach than I was noticing in my shots from the boat, but it's still not too bad. It's a lot better than when they allowed driving on the beach. You notice there's less hyacinth and other kinds of seaweed here as well, so there's just not as much stuff to get tangled in your lines. The tide's flowing in and out. But on the whole, since I have a little boat, I'm probably not going to get a cart because it would be a 2-mile drag even with a good surf fishing cart from the parking area. So I expect mostly just to anchor off there in a boat and fish it from a boat. But it's really a good spot from the beach if you want to get a cart. There were a couple guys fishing out here with carts on a couple of days ago. There are spots that are nearby with they get deep quickly enough with easier access, maybe a 100 or 200 yard walk from the car. And when we are going to go surf fishing, we're probably going to fish those spots instead, because you know, you get a cracked crab out into 4 feet of water, you got a good shot at bull redfish just about anywhere on Louisiana beaches. Louisiana's just that good. We got lots of redfish. So we're thankful to the Lord for that.
When I stand in glory, I will see His face, and there I'll serve my King forever in that holy place. Thank you, oh my Father, for giving us your Son and leaving your Spirit till the work on